Hey there. So, I've decided to do some poetry and lyric readings to kind of explain some of the thought processes that went into making everything. Um, because why the hell not? I thought it would be fun to, I guess, explain some of the meanings, and there's no need for me to be so elusive and mysterious with how everything was crafted. So, yeah, let's do it. This first poem I'm going to be talking about is called Wretched Flux. It's actually been converted into lyrics, or it is lyrics for a song called Cosmic Wellness, although the original title of the poem is Wretched Flux, and um, the whole song can kind of be summed up by impatience, the concept of impatience, and just sort of languishing in a current state that's seen as stagnation, even though it may not actually be stagnation. That's like debatable, but at least that feeling. Um, the frustration, it's kind of also based on the frustration of wanting like success, of seeing a future that there's no clear path to yet. I've been dealing with health issues, and saying the mental battle has been difficult is kind of an understatement. So that's kind of like the main point this song is addressing, or at least as a whole. Here's the first stanza. Upon nectar's sweet call, as diluted as it's become, I know the wanting well, pining's quixotic spell. As illusory as this fades, sear the minutiae, burnt memory echoes betwixt voids, quell the unseen aforetold. Referring to a call, a wanting, a spell, in the first two lines, it's speaking about the path that I mentioned before. It's quixotic, yes, exceedingly idealistic and wonderful, so like a dream, an aspiration, yet at the same time it's so easily lost, so easily bogged down by negative thoughts and doubts. It's sweet and almost obnoxiously illusory at the current moment. Searing the minutiae is a reference to the fact that I understand this present moment should be enough. It's precious, and I'm kind of pissed that I'm taking it for granted, taking things for granted, life, just kind of everything. Burnt memory is this knowledge I know, yet I'm ignoring. So it's wrong to do so. In this present moment, I kind of feel like it's always radiating, at least the energy is, across time, space. It pierces voids. It's everything. It's everything and nothing. That sort of duality that's so contradictory. And if I don't fill it, like this energy, with beauty, what I'm putting out will come back to haunt me, and I would much rather it empower me. Therefore, I quell the unseen, the unlived. I remember the aforetold that I've decided upon, and I make peace. Here's the second stanza. It was actually used as the chorus for the song. Wretched is the state we dwell, ever flow, ever wail. Speak the truths you'd never tell, always want, and so we fail. The first line kind of plays upon the concept of the Buddhist belief that all life is suffering, that in order to transcend this pain, there needs to be a detachment from wanting, from desires, and even strong human attachments. This is why I'm definitely not a Buddhist. I want intensely, and sometimes I can question though if that's why I fail in certain things. Like I haven't figured out that balance, um, that balance of learning to keep myself in check. So ever flow, ever wail, that's about kind of always adapting and overcoming, yet it talks about the anguish of the shadow self that's ever present, that you can't escape from. It's important to be as authentic of a person as possible, speaking your truth, despite feeling awash, despite feeling lost. By being authentic, I am referring to the philosophic concept of authenticity, that, existential philosophers Nietzsche, Sartre, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, that they've written about, others too. To think for yourself and act on the morality of your own creation. So I know that's a lot of different concepts, sounds kind of scattered, but I guess all of that just kind of went into that chorus, just all these different thoughts I had somehow connected. Here's the third stanza. Restoration's quiet breath glows, invariably drawn to our nesting place, and it shows. I ask the wind to speak in my stead. How many times have I been dead? So here I'm speaking more about my current state and my health, drawing back to that, because I know I need patience. I'm being restored. I'm being in this current moment. I'm breathing. I need to trust that process wholeheartedly, that it will happen, because I do get a lot of doubts on that too. The wind speaking in my stead only bolsters the fact that I'm taking the back seat. I'm allowing what needs to happen, and questioning how many times I've been dead is all about rebirth. How many times has my old self, or at least a part of me, had to die? I've lost count because I've grown so much, yet how much further do I have to go? That sort of feeling. Because, I'm frustrated because I know that this personal growth, this journey, is lifelong. I have knowledge about how to deal with, my current situation, yet I'm still so distressed, so human, so fallible, to pain and negativity of my own creation. Of course, there's interference from the outside, such as influences I have no control over, but still, I do get so frustrated at that pain. I did add in a few extra lines, so let me read those. This wretched flux pulls in close. Don't avert your gaze. Do more than cope. These lines kind of refer to the intimacy of, the suffering that I'm feeling, of general life, of my situation. It all just feels too intimate, too real, too overwhelming. But at the same time, I won't avert my gaze. I see it, I acknowledge it, and I embrace it with the intent to overcome, to do more than merely cope. Here's the fourth stanza. Return the dreadnought siren song, ripening fruits most delicious as it falls, bespattered upon the earth. Hazy sky is blinding as I wish to be upon the tree. So this is imagery that I kind of had while writing. The dreadnought is a symbol of war, violence, darkness, chaos, yet it's still alluring, it has a siren's call. Much like succumbing to the negative self-talk that my mind creates, that's also sort of a siren song, or at least something that's easily given into, it's ever present. With what I said earlier, the shadow that's ever present. So I don't know if this is just me, but I kind of think that it's morbidly alluring to give up and say that a path or desire is unrealistic. Not only is it morbidly alluring, but it's kind of also what our society teaches us in terms of following, your passion, dreams, especially if they're more artistic or just non-traditional. Even if the alternative is despair because you can't follow this passion, I still kind of think our minds like to mess with us. So, like I said before, not only our society, teaches us to not follow certain types of paths, but also our mind, because tragedy and being a victim can kind of be addicting. Like I said, I don't know if this is just me, but I do feel that way. Negativity is just addicting. Okay, moving on. The visual about ripening fruit falling kind of reminds me that it's okay, beautiful even, to fall, to hit whatever rock bottom there is that you need to hit, whatever that means to you, what it means to me. Doing so is necessary for growth, for character development. So even be spattered upon the earth, the sky is still there. It may be overwhelming at the moment. The sky is too bright, too illustrious, but it's not going anywhere. It's a fixed sort of hope that being upon the tree once more is possible, and actually there's many more possibilities than that at the present moment. I'm probably just unaware of these things. But yes, so there you have it. Any poetry I write is usually pretty multifaceted. I do enjoy injecting layers of meaning in even just one sentence or verse, so I hope I didn't go into too much detail and bore you, but thank you for listening.